Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. This is actually a series that I do. I love making these videos, and just like the title says, I just show you a day in my life, what I eat and what I cook, which is possibly my favorite parts of the videos, what I'm wearing, cleaning, organization, different hobbies that I'm pursuing, and just beauty that I see in life all around me. Oh, and on this day, I actually had a midwife appointment. So that was very exciting. Speaking of exciting, today's video is actually sponsored by LG. LG was kind enough to give us a new dishwasher, and let me tell you, we are already obsessed with it for different reasons, because Dan does most of the dishes. I just think it's really pretty. But yeah, we love it. I can't wait to share about it. So yeah, I hope you guys liked today's video. If you do, please consider giving it a thumbs up. At that point, you're already halfway done with entering today's giveaway. Expand my info box for all of the rules on that. With that being said, let's jump into today's video. I have been craving this breakfast the last couple days. It is a sprouted whole wheat bagel with probiotic cream cheese, cucumber, tomatoes, everything but the bagel seasoning, some pepper, chunky sea salt, and then a side of some fruit. I am obsessed with pears in the fall. And then I had a little bit of bacon that Dan cooked me up as well. Now on this day, we knew that we were getting our new dishwasher delivered. So Dan went ahead and worked on, what would be the word? Like uninstalling, removing, taking out, all of the above, our old dishwasher. Bowser, of course, watched with, great curiosity. He's always got his nose in whatever we're doing. He's always examining, looking. Now, the funny part is, Zoe is too, but I'm not even kidding you. Zoe likes to spy more on like things that I'm doing, like makeup or hair. She'll sit and watch up close, and Bowser likes to watch more of the things that Dan is doing. So shortly after, we received our brand new LG dishwasher. Now, one of the things that I have to touch on is the design of this dishwasher. We didn't just get this dishwasher randomly. We actually picked it because of the design, and we love not only the sleek, clean look of it, but also this is going to be a bonus now that we're gonna have a baby. It's actually got a print-proof finish, so it can stay smudge-free and clean looking. And I'm not the greatest with keeping up with like smudges and cleaning all of the time, so that is a huge bonus for me. Another cool feature about it is actually the sound. I don't know about you guys, but we have been in many situations where we've wanted to run the dishwasher, but we're trying to watch a show or a movie, and particularly Dan gets really annoyed by like the loud noise in the background, and this has a quiet cycle, so it runs extra quiet and will not disturb your family activities. Side note, at this point, Dan actually thought he was potentially going to be installing the dishwasher, so he just wanted to take everything out and kind of move that direction. We did end up having a installer come over, but that's what you're seeing him working on, is kind of like the unboxing and setting up and learning and doing whatever he could for this process. By the way, shout out to our installer and his wife. We got to talk a little bit about birth, which I know is really random, but it was a good conversation. Now at this point, I think it's time for a random belly shot. In my new maternity leggings, guys, I got these leggings very recently from Avocado, and the belly is so comfortable, especially as my belly changes sizes not only throughout the day, but also now that I am in my third trimester, these are gonna be probably my most worn pants. Now, I kind of lost track of footage, I can't lie. I'm not sure if this was like earlier in the day before I changed, or possibly even the next day. I'm not sure, but my kitchen was disgusting, so I needed to get some cleaning done. The last month has just been crazy. I've mentioned that on Instagram, between the traveling to California for our baby shower, which was amazing, and the video should be up by now, by the way, if you missed that, our week in California, as well as the baby shower. It was amazing, but it was shocking how being pregnant, like, just that trip threw everything off. We both ended up getting like really sick. I threw my neck out. So I'm not even kidding you. I don't even think I had properly cleaned my kitchen in like 3 to 4 weeks. I'm not kidding. Do I even need to be admitting that on the internet? I don't know why I feel this need to like compulsively share like my confessions. I hadn't cleaned in a while, guys. But yeah. So speaking of LG, by the way, bringing it back, this is my LG fridge. I love this fridge. So now you can see why I'm so hyped about that dishwasher. So I definitely needed to give my fridge a wipe down and kind of a refresh prep situation. So I pulled everything out of the refrigerator and I gave it a nice wipe down. I like to do this probably every 2 to 4 weeks, just kind of depending on the free time that I have, the energy that I have, the amount of grocery shopping that we're doing. And I'm actually kind of prepping for our large grocery shopping trip that we're going to be doing soon, because we are officially going to be doing a ton of freezer cooking like very soon. So I needed to get everything clean, really take inventory of everything that I already had in the fridge. So I feel like I'm elaborating on something that you could just watch me do, but that is what's going on. And then I did pull out a muffin. I was gonna call it a muffin scoot. That's an inside joke. To have a snack while I was cleaning, because, you know, pregnant, hungry, had to do it. So as far as the cleaning aspect of this dishwasher, 2 things I wanted to hit on. First off, there are 4 multi-motion arms that rotate back and forth to get the dishes from all different angles. So one of the things that they say is that you definitely don't need to pre-wash. Now, because Dan is Dan, he will always pre-wash. But if you were like me, that's a really cool feature that would be utilized. And if you want to be technical, when you're not pre-washing, you're saving on water too. So that's a bonus. So space-wise, like the interior of the dishwasher is great for us because it actually fits more dishes, which is great because you guys know I love to cook. And it has some really great flexibility with loading the dishes as well. For example, you can move the top rack up and down to adjust for whatever size dishes that you're loading and just kind of move everything till it fits perfectly. And then the other feature is their steam process. LG is the only dishwasher that utilizes a second steam blast to dry your dishes, so you're left with a lot less water spots. And I have to say, our dishes have been looking really good. Also, maybe this is only me, but I really like the lighting in this dishwasher, like the cool LED, like kind of space looking clean light. Does that make sense? I like it. And then last but not least, the dishwasher has this really cool modern touch, we'll call it, and that's that the dishwasher actually connects to an app. So you can be notified when your dishes are done, or you can see where the dishes are like in the process. So overall, we just feel really excited and blessed to be able to bring this dishwasher into our kitchen and also share it with you guys. I'm telling you people, this video is a little all over the map. I have a bunch of like random food shots, but this sandwich that I made, which was a BLT on like a whole grain super seed toast with a kale salad and some berries on the side, was so good. So yeah. So another thing that I needed to do around the house, this, by the way, I should have mentioned this at the beginning. This was all kind of like right after we got back from California. So this is really like me kind of pulling myself and my life back together. And one of those things that was me pulling my life back together included me needing to take care of the house plants. I get a lot of comments from you guys like, how do you keep all your plants alive? I can't keep plants alive. And I'm not even kidding. I don't really know. Like, I think a lot of it is just because I've picked very easy to care for plants like pothos, which are my favorite. And yeah, I feel like I really do the minimum, like not that much to my plants. And so if you're someone that's watching and is feeling inspired but feels like I don't have a green thumb, I highly suggest looking into easy plants for your area. And really, I think pothos, you kind of can't go wrong. And then you can be like me and you can trick everyone into thinking that you're a real life plant lady when really you're just a poser. Another random shot. I took an Epsom salt bath that day. Now for dinner that night, I knew I wanted a salad and my leafy greens were going insane on my tower garden. So I just like ripped out the entire plant because I don't even think lettuce is supposed to do this. Like I think this is technically called bolting, where it grows on a vine, but I still eat it. Like I don't eat the flowers at the end, but I just decided, okay, I'll have the whole, like all the salad leaves off this. We'll just rip the plant out, start over. I have a bunch of seedlings growing anyways. I think it's just so beautiful to watch stuff grow, because some of this, if you know anything about gardening, is like not really what you want. Like I mentioned with the lettuce growing on a vine like that and having the flowers, but it's still just beautiful to see how nature grows and develops, even when you're doing it quote unquote wrong. So I chopped up all of the greens that I harvested, as well as the chives and the cilantro. Next up, because we both love jalapenos so much, I chopped up some jalapeno. And then I made some homemade dressing. So I just added in a mason jar a bunch of olive oil, some balsamic vinegar. I'm not very specific with measurements. Remember, just always check out my blog or my Pinterest for more specific information on my food in general. So then I added some honey, as well as some Dijon mustard. Then I added in some red chili pepper flakes, some black pepper, a little bit of pink Himalayan salt. According to you guys, it's not sea salt, it is just salt. And then I chopped up my garlic. By the way, that was just a joke. The person that told me that in the comments when I shouted that out was like, I'm sorry, we weren't making fun of you. I totally didn't take it that way. I find my constant drive to share, but also like consistent mess up of small details like that. Maybe they're not small, I don't know. I find it funny. So thank you for the information. I appreciate it. Then I squeezed a lemon into the mix, because you know I have to add lemon to everything. And then I used my little hand mixer. I don't know, I think this is technically like a milk frother, but I've been using it for dressing lately, and I just blended everything together. You could also just put a lid or like some kind of wrap, like cellophane on top, and just shake it by hand. Oh, which I apparently ended up doing. Next up, I chopped up a bunch of cherry tomatoes for my half the salad. Dan, fun fact that is not fun at all, he actually hates tomatoes. It's very sad. He always hopes that one day his taste buds are gonna change, because he's like, you love them so much, I can tell they're good, but he does not like them. So Dan had grilled up some salmon on this night. We buy wild-caught Alaskan salmon frozen from Costco. And so he cooked it up, we put it on our salad, added the dressing, I added my tomatoes, crumbled up a little bit of organic goat cheese. And then also, I actually had some fresh chimichurri that I had made from my herbs in the tower garden the day before. And chimichurri is just kind of like a parsley, cilantro, herb sauce, and it's really good on top of the salmon. But people use it for everything, sandwiches, other kinds of meats. Yeah, just so good. By the way, I did end up making a smoothie on the side as well, with just some berries, some goji berries, a little bit of MCT oil, some water, and then I think I also added some Greek yogurt and collagen protein powder as well. Oh, and I clearly added a little bit of avocado too. Now, sticking with the trend of hopping from one day to the next, apparently we're going to another day where we had an appointment with our midwife. Now, to those of you that don't know, our goal is to hopefully do a home birth, and we are working with Nova Birth Services here in Nashville to facilitate that. Now, one of the things, in retrospect, I kind of wish I had opted out of was the gestational diabetes test. I'll be talking about that in an upcoming video, but that's actually what I was doing here today. I was also just in for a checkup. In the appointment, you know, she also did the typical kind of like feeling and measuring of my belly. And you can actually see what she's doing here is she's figuring out the placement of the baby. So she was feeling around, showing me where the head was. We didn't get that on camera, but Dan actually got to feel where his leg was and his head, and it was just really cool. Now, one of the other things she always does is checks the baby's heart rate. And so that is what she's doing right now.
So this is right over the back.
Gosh,
158.
that is so weird.
Still really good.
It still doesn't feel real that there's a person in there.
That's definitely not your heartbeat.
So yeah, I'm not going to go into why I wish I hadn't done this diabetes test today. I'll talk about that at another point in a future video. And I'll just kind of share my personal experience. I probably didn't even need to share these details because I'm not actually telling you right now. Now on this day, the weather, it was stunning. We were right in that transitional season of fall where there are still some leaves on the trees, but they're really starting to fall and come down and change color. And we always drive around and we're like, fire trees, because everything looks like it's on fire in the most beautiful, amazing way. All of this is still just very, I guess you could say, novel to us. Like, just we're in awe of nature and of God, because in California, we didn't have this same kind of experience with fall, with the weather change and the trees. It's just different. And so it's been really fun. I know I've mentioned this before, but just seeing the seasons change. Now, almost every day we take some kind of puppy break because, you know, that's mandatory, right, guys? And that was what was going on here. Dan was chilling with Zoe on the couch, throwing Bowser's ball around because for probably multiple times a day, Dan is throwing the ball down the hallway in our house to Bowser. And it's like their favorite little game together, to just like back and forth in the hall. And yeah, we just hung out as a little family and took some deep breaths. If you didn't already know this, it is proven to be good for your health to spend quality time with your animals. So we take that very seriously, guys. We get in all the pets, all the cuddles, and yeah, our babies. Now, I mentioned all of the seedlings that I have growing for the tower garden. And actually, it's crazy how fast stuff shifts, because since I filmed this, which was like a week ago, I've actually transplanted like 75% of these to the tower garden. And I'm starting a new batch of seedlings today. And that's actually what this little tray is. I haven't shown you guys this, but I ended up moving over my seedling sprouting area because it sits on a heat mat over near my tower garden. And then I have the actual sprouted seedlings on my counter. Actually, when I'm done recording this, I'm gonna go start a new batch. Now, time to move on to dinner. Now, two things, two spoiler alerts. One, this food was so good, it was insane. So I'm gonna preface it with that. But at the same time, this was kind of a mistake, mess up, and I don't really know where the mess up was. We had bought a ton of zucchini and yellow squash to spiralize and freeze. We wanted to test this out for our freezer meals that we're going to be making for the 4th trimester. And on this night, I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna pull those out and we'll do this experiment, have this for dinner. So it tasted good. Like I said, I'm already spoiling that. But this was such a huge pain in the butt. I don't know if I just didn't let the noodles thaw like long enough or what. I mean, you could see they were still pretty firm. Maybe this is like an all day thing, or maybe this isn't possible because they also seemed pretty wet, which is why you see me applying a lot of salt, which that's the other thing. I put way too much salt on these noodles. I thought that if I put a bunch of salt on before baking them, it would also help to soak up the moisture like from the ice from the freezer that would be on the noodles. Yeah, that really didn't work. So I threw some frozen mushrooms that I had chopped up to freeze because they were gonna go bad. So I pulled those out of the freezer, put them on the pan, and then I chopped up a shallot that I had on hand in the refrigerator. Then I threw the shallot in with the mushrooms, as well as a couple of cloves of garlic that I crushed. And then I kind of made my own sauce by adding in a little bit of heavy whipping cream, some Parmesan cheese that I shredded, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, as well as some red chili pepper flakes. Also, you know I love adding white wine or red wine, really depends on what I'm cooking, to my sauce. And then I added a little bit of olive oil. You guys know, I cook with no rhyme or reason. I just kind of look around, think things sound good, add them together. That's what I did here. And I'm telling you, minus the fact that I added too much salt to the noodles and the noodles were a little mushy, this was so good. Dan actually fried up a little bit of bacon to throw on top as well. And it was just really yummy. By the way, we did have a side salad. I went upstairs and pulled out one of those bolted lettuce vine situation things. And I chopped up the leaves and we had a side salad with some of that leftover balsamic, honey, garlic, Dijon vinaigrette that I had made, I think the day before. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. I just want to say thank you again to LG, not only for sponsoring this video, but also for gifting us with that dishwasher. We love it. It's such a blessing in our life. And I hope that you guys enjoyed learning about it and seeing it as well. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and check the info box for all of the rules for today's giveaway. And I will hopefully see you guys back here soon with another new video. All right, bye guys.